Okay, you guys, so we are back with another video. In this video, we're gonna talk about Bill Gates' ex-wife, Melinda French Gates. She has spoken out publicly about her ex-husband, Bill Gates' name being mentioned in the newly released Epstein files. Now, ever since the release of the Epstein files, everyone and their mamas keep acting as though the only names that came out on that file was Jay-Z and Beyoncé. Everyone else just gets to make good their escape. No one cares about anyone else. We as black people just care about pulling down each other, but who is gonna ask the other people, why were you on this file? What did you really do? Did this really happen? But no, honey, no one cares about anyone else. They only care about Jay-Z and Beyoncé. Off with Jay-Z's head, off with Beyoncé's head, but everyone else gets to make good their escape. And that is hypocrisy. Not because you can do something and get away with it, it doesn't mean that you should do it. If you're demanding that Jay-Z should be held accountable, if you're demanding that there should be an investigation into Jay-Z, you should demand the same for everyone else. Not only that, if you look at the time that the allegation was levied against Jay-Z, Jay-Z just released his first album. Jay-Z could not sit with Jeffreyepstein, neither Bill Gates at that time, unless they were taking out the trash, honey. If you know what I mean, right? So now, I'm putting my focus elsewhere. Unlike many people, it's just Jay-Z and Beyoncé. And I spoke about Elon Musk already, allegedly being on the list. Pusha T's name is on the list. At that time, poor Pusha T was still in school. What was Pusha T doing amongst those people? Those people don't even like those colors. They don't like us. Okay? They may use people like us, and when they see that you're close to them, they carefully orchestrate your takedown like what they're doing to Jay-Z. Jay-Z's true crime will never be known to us because whatever Jay-Z did, they did it equally just the same. And if they expose Jay-Z, they'll be exposing themselves. But anywho, let's talk about Melinda French Gates, because after the files were released, she basically said that this revelation, it has brought back unbelievable sadness for her and very painful times from her marriage. She emphasized that Bill Gates himself must answer to the allegations. Yes, honey, she did an entire sit down. I think it's with NPR Wildcard podcast interview where she described her reaction to seeing Bill Gates referenced in the Epstein document as one of deep sadness. She spoke about painful memories. She said the mention of Gates in the files bring back memories of some very, very painful times in her marriage. She stressed that her ex-husband has to answer to those things and that she would not speak on his behalf. Let's take a look at that clip together, shall we? And then I'll get back with the rest of my commentary.
I think we're having a reckoning as a society, right? No girl should ever be put in the situation that they were put in by Epstein and whatever was going on with all of the various people around him. No girl. I mean, it's beyond heartbreaking, right? I remember being those ages those girls were. I remember my daughters being those ages, right? So, for me, it's personally hard whenever those details come up, right? Because, brings back memories of some very, very painful times in my marriage, but I have moved on from that. I purposely pushed it away and I moved on. I'm in a really unexpected, beautiful place in my life. So whatever questions remain there of what I can't even begin to know all of it, those questions are for those people and for even my ex-husband. They need to answer to those things, not me. Well, and I am so happy to be away from all the muck
I wonder what your dominant emotion is when you read these news articles.
Just unbelievable sadness. Unbelievable sadness, right? And again, I'm able to take my own sadness and look at those young girls and say, my God, how did that happen to those girls, right? And so for me, it's just sadness for, I left my marriage. I had to leave my marriage. I wanted to leave my marriage. I had to leave I felt I needed to eventually leave the foundation. So it's just sad. And it's kind of like, at least for me, I've been able to move on in life. And I hope there's some justice for those now women, right? We see them standing up in front of microphones in D.C. What they went through is just unimaginable, I think.
Okay, guys, so there you have Melinda Gates speaking about her ex-husband and, demanding that he takes accountability. So she's saying he should answer for these allegations against him. Now, you guys know, as I've said, if you've seen the video before this, in 2013, it was alleged that Billgates contracted an STI and sought antibiotics for Melinda. So it is alleged that he caught an STI from a Russian girl and he brought it home to his wife, Melinda, and he had to seek antibiotics allegedly for him and Melinda. Those were just some of the things that came out in the Epstein files. This was back in the 2013 files. So when I say to you people that these files have been available years ago to a lot of people, and when you look at the allegations against Jay-Z, how it mirrors the VMA Bandit lawsuit, don't you guys see corruption? But anywho, you don't have to see corruption. Wait until it reaches at your door to see it. And then come back and tell me how you feel when it reaches your door. They're coming for everyone. They're coming for every single last one of them. Not the white people, the black people. They're coming for every single last one of them. But the smartest one out of the bunch, there are two smart ones out of the bunch, and that's Obama and Jay-Z. Obama and Jay-Z. Yeah. They have to be hypocrites to survive because they know their enemies and they know that they're playing Russian roulette with their enemies, but they know that at the same time they need their enemies to survive. They know their enemies are after them, but they know they need their enemies to survive. But I believe that people are going to go to jail. But the people who will go to jail, it's going to be very surprising to you guys. It's going to be very surprising to you guys of who actually goes to jail. You're not going to see any of the popular names going to jail. Some people, you're just going to hear that they're in federal facility. Those luxurious prison. So that tells you that the individuals that will be going, they are of high status, extremely high status. But someone has to be held accountable in all of this because they know we're looking and we're watching. And the more we talk about it, take your focus off Jay-Z for a bit. While you're calling Jay-Z's name, call everyone else's name the same. Why is it that you all are so focused on Jay-Z when he's not the only name on the file? That is very telling. Very, very telling. And you're showing them just how weak we are and how easily we can be divided. That's what you're doing because you're not calling for everyone on the list to be investigated or anything like that. But that's just my 2 cents on this entire matter. I wish you all the best. Peace.